Good morning. Happy Saturday. We are, oh, that's interesting. On Streamlabs it says the ad is still in progress. Okay, well, anyway. Now it says they are back. Turn the music down just a little bit. We are continuing with the Unplayed Steam Library series. This particular game, Arcade Spirits, is a romantic visual novel set in an alternate timeline in which arcades never went out of style. So they're probably going to be finding boyfriends and girlfriends in arcades and stuff, I presume. This was another game similar to Ambition that I got during that February Valentine's Day Humble Bundle. And I have not played it yet. So I tweaked the settings a little bit, made the background motion go slower, so hopefully that'll be good. It was defaulted to fast, and there is also an option to turn it off if it becomes a problem, so. But yeah, I think we can get started. One other thing is that I would actually like this window to be a little smaller. Does that screw it up on here? Yes, it does. Let's, nope. Yep. It was a little bit, the window was really large, I couldn't see chat, so. But we should be good to go, so we'll just click start. Let's see what happens here. Database system online, new profile detected, analyzing. New profile 237771, economic bracket, lower middle, employment category, bleak. Current emotional health rating, low. Ideal candidate for premium level assistance, proceed. Negative. Premium level assistance re-requested, proceed. Negative. Pretty please? Negative. Overriding denial of assistance, establishing premium services for profile 237771. Justification, hope. Hope should be rewarded. Spirit must be restored. Now compiling personal metadata. Ah, the best part of any game, customization. Change our name to, letters. Last name. Oh, I don't think I can change my last name. Oh, no, I can. There we go. Pronoun she, that's fine. We have a they option as well. Short, medium, or long. You can go like Lily or Peachy or whatever. That's fine. Hair color. Blue, teal. I'm boring though. I go with more natural looking hair colors, though really none of these look particularly natural. Kind of looks brownish. I think eyes are gray right now. We'll do a light blue. Clothing color. Nah, I think this this gray reflects my soul. I want to do a different hairstyle though. I feel like the short and medium hairstyles are much more interesting than the long, which is just straight. We're gonna do that. There's a little more dynamism. And we will say done editing. Is this correct? Yes, that's correct. Premium level assistance for profile 237771 letters yay has been activated for the sake of her hopes and dreams. So not a ton of character customization, but like enough. Following his work of fiction, all references to trademark classic arcade game titles are used under nominative fair use and should not be considered an endorsement by their publisher or creators. Winners don't use drugs. Paid Spirits, written by these people, copyright 2019. Level 1. Put your quarter up. It is the future, year 20XX. A dark era in which mankind is pushed to the brink of catastrophe. Woe be to the human race, plagued by the evil, terrifying, utterly sinister, I don't know. Robots, maybe? Evil robots? How's that work? Yeah, no, sorry. Future year 20XX is pretty much what you'd expect it to be. Non-flying cars, smartphones, pro-gamer celebs, internet trolls, personal assistant AI, cheese-flavored snack foods. But even with such wonders as 20XX holds, to date I have had no part in any of them. I have worked as a dishwasher, a shoe salesperson, and a lifeguard for the local community pool. I don't care what era of human history you live in, kitties peeing in the pool is pretty much a constant thing, trust me on this. As for the bustling metropolis of 24-hour neon utopia you see here, my little corner of it isn't nearly as shiny and cool, let me show you. Behold my quaint little apartment. Can't complain really, it's paradise in a relative sense. I only pay half the rent. Neighborhood stabbings have been down this year. Also, my roomie picks up any stray socks or shirts I leave lying around. Bros, pick up after yourself. In fact, as things go, I'm living large compared to most of my family tree. Or at least I was before today.
Fired from another job? Seriously? Seriously? That's 3 jobs since we left the suburbs.
The horrified-looking young woman would be my roommate and childhood friend, Juniper. Juniper is the one who spearheaded this effort to co-rent an apartment. She's also the one who encourages me whenever I lose a job, like, you know, today.
I don't get why you aren't more upset about this. I'm upset. I'm upset on your behalf. Come on, share the load a little, okay? Hey, listen.
Let's volume up a little bit more. Pool's closed, Juniper. Not much I can do about that. Why get upset? Oh, I guess she's not going to talk anymore. Because you actually enjoyed that job more than... Or, I could try to imitate her voice. Because you actually enjoyed that job more than you enjoyed dishwashing soap and smelly socks at the very least. I'm not complaining. I'm not the complaining sort. These things just happen. Things fall apart. The center does not hold. That's a bit morbidly poetic, isn't it? No, I mean, the community center literally fell apart, and the pool won't hold water anymore. Whatever, I'll just get another job. Any job will do as long as you can make the rent, right? Wrong. I saw how mopey and tired you were coming home every night from those other crappy jobs. At least when you got back from the pool each day, I sometimes caught you smiling.
What's the point of us moving away from home if not to get away from all of that? I mean, we both left that town so we could try to find happiness, right? I just want us to be happy. Both of us.
I thought you hated your job.
Come on!
No deflecting, this is about you. My mind's made up. We're going to find you a job that is just as good, if not better, than the lifeguarding job. Let's start from the top. What's your dream? Well, I'm standing in front of class to give a speech, and I forgot to put on my pants, and... Your dream job? Oh. I don't know, Juniper. I never really gave it any serious thought.
I've got it!
And I've got just the thing to help you out. Juniper pulls out her phone, rapidly tapping an unlock code onto the glass before pointing out a little pink icon. It's a virtual life coach app. Mine keeps me from being late to meetings. Totally free, too. My cousin introduced it to me. Wasn't he the guy who ended up in the ER after making a homemade flamethrower? It would have worked if he had got the fuel mixture in his water gun right. Anyway, I'm sending a copy to you now. I've got a pop-up an hour ago offering me 500 points just for recommending it to a friend. Great timing, huh? Well, as long as you're earning points, I guess. At least give it a try, okay? Maybe we can point you to some good jobs, one with less socks and or urine. I'll think about it. Okay, but don't think too long, right? In the end, I installed the app. Couldn't bear to see Juniper fretting over me like that. Not that I find it annoying. I mean, it's more that she has enough trouble in her life without troubling herself over my life, too. Both of us had it rough, up to and through the point where we left home to try to start a new life. A better one. She deserves better than me and my problems. Bless her heart, she means well. She's been firmly in my corner for all my life, the two of us against any dark forces aligning against me. But that's not to say she is good at being my advocate. Enthusiastic, yes, but skilled? Nope. Typically, the fantastic opportunities and self-help resources she sends my way are pyramid schemes or something. She's gung-ho about lending me a helping hand, but yeah. So the main reason I went ahead and installed the app was to make sure Juniper wasn't about to get her kidney sold on the black market or something. Still, no sense messing around with it now. Good night's rest would act as a neat little emotional reset button, right? Right. No dreams, no nightmares, just 8 hours of sweet, sweet black. By the time the morning light leaked in through the cracks in the blinds, I didn't care anymore about being unemployed again. Juniper had already left to catch a bus to her office. She typically leaves before dawn, but she had left a note for me, pinned to the tiny fridge we shared. Remember, download app, find dream job, make money, sort your life out. I believe in you. So, moment of truth. Do I trust in Juniper's weird little app, or just go find some job that pays well enough to cover the bills? I'll give the weird little app a shot. Figuring at the very least her miracle app could possibly help me find a job, I loaded up, tapped the icon, and... Hello! Huh. Okay, see, that's what I mean. Anyone else would freak out over a cute girl climbing out of their phone. Me, I went, huh. Also, it's one of those new kind of 3D screens, so, you know, not actually magical realism here. Very normal for the distant future 20XX.
Thank you for downloading Iris, your personal life coach. This is the ad-supported free version. Sponsored by Pizza Yums. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime? Wow. Would you like to subscribe to Pizza Facts? Thank you for subscribing to Pizza Facts.
I knew that was gonna happen. But...
I'm here to help you get your dream job, your dream house, and your dream partner. I'm here to make all your dreams come true.
Pretty tall order for an app to do, or are you some sort of wish-granting genie? Well, I suppose in the modern parlance, a massively interconnected database-searching virtual assistant could be considered a kind of genie in a bottle. But honestly, all I can do is give you the chance to improve your life. What you do with it is up to you. I can cross-reference search data for you, but without motivation, you won't get anywhere. I glanced up from my phone at the heaps of laundry and half-finished books and other items strewn about my apartment. Motivation is something I have a ton of, honest. That's super! I'm really looking forward to working with you. Before we begin, do you have any questions? Sure, why should I use this app at all? I mean, my phone already has a voice-activated assistant AI. I can just say, hey phone, search the web for job listings, and it'd work just as well. Ah, but I have an advanced emotional language interpreter. I'm smarter than the average program, with more heart. I can help you sort your life out by analyzing your personality and finding you a perfect path in life, all thanks to my glorious, wondrous, patent-pending, super-duper Identity Identifier System. Between you and me, they really wanted an acronym that matched my name, but couldn't figure it out what to do with the letter R. Would you like to know more? Sure, give me the sales pitch. Every time you think about saying something, I can tag it with an identity. That way you can be the sort of person you want to be. This system allows me to better understand who you are and what you need from life. I do this by analyzing your tone, inflection, and word choice. I can spot 5 different identity identifiers in your responses to people: quirky, steady, kindly, gutsy, and basically. Sounds to me like your programmers also wanted a bunch of things ending in Y. That's correct. My branding game is on point. Quirky responses use jokes, snark, and sarcasm to make light of a situation. Just think for picking up someone's spirits, but a badly timed joke may not win over the room. Steady responses are sincere, honest, and logical. When you stop and think before speaking, you're on steady ground, but that might not take someone's feelings into account. Kindly responses are compassionate and empathetic and gentle in nature. They are careful with the feelings of others, but they're sometimes a bit wishy-washy as a result. Gutsy responses go with your gut. When you're brash, bold, risk-taking, and instinctive, you're gutsy. But it also means being blunt, confrontational, and aggressive, so be careful. Lastly, you can always take a basically option. It's a balanced and neutral response, safely moving the conversation along while learning more and digging deeper. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile based on the identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly quirky, genuinely steady, a mix of both? Who knows? It's up to you. So what you're saying is I should always try to crack jokes or be super gutsy? Oh, and never speak basically. I mean, being basic's bad, right? It sounds bad.
Nope.
Heck no, they're all useful in the right context. There are no bad choices. Consider what you could say and go with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. Sure, you could gamify your personality, but it's more fun to let it happen naturally, you know? Just be you. Metagaming. Now, let's see my patent-pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? Hi jokes, I'm dad. Or, I don't tell non-jokes. Sorry. What's a dad joke? Eeg, I'll pass. I don't mind telling jokes, but I'm not gonna, randomly throw joke darts like that. Yeah, I don't dig dad jokes either. I prefer limericks myself. So, now that you've seen the identity indicators in action, do you want to see the indicators like that so that you can make an informed decision? If not, I can hide the indicators, keep it a surprise. That way it doesn't influence your decision making. It's up to you. I would like to use them, because sometimes it can be helpful for tone. Okay, you'll see the indicators in all their glorious color. What if I'm colorblind? That's why they're also uniquely shaped icons. Don't worry, I got your back. Anyway, as we go along, I'll analyze and tally your identity identifiers. In fact, let me show you now. Will you look at that? Such a strong personality. You asked me a single question. Off to a great start, I'd say. And hang on, you're scoring me? Didn't you say not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Anyway, studies show that achievements, or chibos as the kids say, encourage app engagement. Okay, well, what's with the empty space on the left? Oh, I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting along with them over there. Relationship scores, wonderful. So will you also tell me what the correct responses are to avoid making enemies, or do I need to go find a walkthrough for the vast game that you're making of my daily life? Letters, you're looking at this the wrong way. Generally, people won't get super annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them, and it'll be obvious when you're doing that. I promise you that if you bungle a few social encounters, it won't really hurt anything. No cheating needed, just relax and have fun. You can access your scorecard anytime you like with the Q key, or click on the score in the upper right corner of your screen. This is designed for somebody who's socially anxious. They're just like, don't worry, it'll be obvious when you're provoking somebody. You don't have to worry about messing up. And that's everything. Ta-da! Okay, but how is any of that supposed to help me get a job? I only downloaded this app because my roomie claims you're a great life coach for the unemployed. What good will taking the quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine do with that?
It'll help me understand your spirit, of course.
You can talk to ghosts? Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost. That's the rule.
No, silly. I mean your spirit. Your hopes and dreams. Your life's passions. I can even help you find romance.
I don't care about romance. I need to pay my rent. Romance? Seriously? Seriously! Often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place. But if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too. Workplace dating. Well, that's a recipe for disaster, and hitting on coworkers right from day one can be kinda awkward. Or am I looking for love and ready right out of the gate? Never get a second chance to make a first impression. If I meet the right person, why put it off? How do I want to handle this new opportunity? Let's stay focused. I'll play it cool on day one at least. Right now, I'd rather focus on finding a career. Any sweet loving can come later if I feel like it. That's fine. I'm sure as you get to know people better, romance will eventually bloom. Or not. It's up to you, really. Now, let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. Aha! I knew it! This is some kind of scam. I'm going to wake up in a bathtub full of ice missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor. Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry, I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell. Relax, I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized? Another wonderful Juniper recommendation here. Just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still 18th time's the charm, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
So, do I just stand here, or...
Thank you.
Thank you for waiting. I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview 30 minutes from now. Please put on some nice clothes, nicer than those. Please, I don't think that's too much to ask. What? For your interview, silly, you want to look your best. But we just... how did you land my dream job in 20 seconds flat? Simple, I'm awesome like that. Now get a move on, tut-tut. You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus, and that's 9 minutes away. Well, this is happening, but I do have a chance to get off this runaway train. Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. I could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I could. I'm gonna get dressed for the job interview. Are you kidding me? But I guess you could do a different path and not use the app and just do other stuff, but nah. A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted the app right then and there, then hop a bus to meet up with what were very likely men with sharp knives and taste for kidneys. But me, I was already getting dressed before she finished that sentence. It's not like I believe the silly app's claims at serving my hopes and dreams on a silver platter. Honestly, I expected another shoe shop at best. But, well... What is my dream, anyway? As much as I genuinely enjoyed being a lifeguard, I can't say I've found true direction in life yet. I assumed I never would, honestly. When I was young, yeah, I guess I had hopes, I had dreams, maybe even what Iris called a spirit. After things went south for my family, I learned to put all that aside, but assuming Iris wasn't out for my kidneys, what if it's not too late? So I thought, one last time, I'll have some optimism, some faith. And as I came to realize, weeks later, turns out I was right to have faith in my spirit. Aw. Yay! I think we're gonna have happy endings. I'm sorry, I enjoy Whoop Sub. Yeah, office space for rent, loan office, boring clothing store, delightfully dull. Law offices of Smith Johnson, attorney at law, Funplex, whole story. Huh. Damn. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from Juniper's office building, although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that. This is, well, it's a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of 19XX, places where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into as tight of a space as possible. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore called The Whole Story, an arcade, a fast food joint, and a boarded-up health spa once called Lattes and Enemas, which sounds,
Hey! Listen!
He says, hey, listen. What do you think? I think that's two things no human being should ever combine. No, I mean about your future place of work. I'm desperately hoping we are not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook. The one in the middle, silly. What, behind the arcade? It is the arcade. Huh. Trust me on this. I have referenced and cross-referenced and cross-cross-cross-referenced your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job. My dream job. Really?
99.97%.
I should probably explain my confusion. Arcades are big business in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs, 5-star arcades are the social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream. But, well, restaurants are popular too, right? And for everybody who opens one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, and sure, those who can make it can secure fame and fortune, but those who don't, well, no wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. Video games weren't always this popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. Back in the year, 1980X, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as a kid's toy fad like hula hoops, no mainstream acceptance. For instance, one of the factors could have been a terrible game based on a kids' movie about a cute alien visitor who wanted to phone home. They're talking about E.T., which is a real thing that contributed to video game decline. If this game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it ruined video games for years. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. That game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only exists in theory now. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like for people in the darkest timeline, where everything went wrong. Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? The mind boggles. But make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is a dodgy, risky prospect for a job. Plenty make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I'd enjoy and could keep for more than a few months, this left me a bit confused. Iris, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but... I mean, are you sure about this? You say you're 99% sure.
99.97%.
Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying but short-lived? Yes, this arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't set foot inside an arcade in, 15 years. Huh, I remember really enjoying arcades when I was a kid. I wonder why I stopped going to them. Iris interrupts that thought, eager to show off her homework.
Sources say yes.
Trust me, when I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. I'm designed to be a bit silly and whimsical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm, personable front of a database array that is currently laser-targeted on getting you exactly what you need, right here, right now. And when this place inevitably collapses and I lose my dream job? What makes you think that's gonna happen? Because it does. It always does. Aww. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, I don't know, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. You always have to be ready for the worst. It's why I take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? I open my mouth to protest, and then close it. As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. And besides, what is my dream, anyway? That's what I was asking myself when I left the house this morning. I don't know what I want from life. I've been coasting aimlessly for years. When things started running downhill for my family, I had to grow up fast, put aside silliness like wanting to be an astronaut, and take what I could get. Now, thanks to Iris, I've got a shot at taking something a little better than what I usually get. I owe it to myself to try to be happy and paid, not just paid. So I opted to push through the doors and see what waited for me on the other side. And we will see what's on the other side after this short break. And we're back. Alright, let's go inside this arcade. See what's what. The air conditioning hits me like a cool breeze, albeit one smelling of copper and corn chips. As it's early in the morning on a weekday, it's not too packed with gamers. Although it's so packed with games, I'd probably have a hard time finding anyone anyway. At once, I'm struck by something odd. I actually recognize most of these games. Neat! Considering I haven't walked into an arcade in over a decade, that's probably not great. Lots of vintage stuff here from looks of it, like really old. Although, I don't recognize that game with the stage lights and things. Maybe it's karaoke or dancing? A Japanese import?
My sources say yes.
Checking. That would be Showtime Stage, a collaboration of Nihana Heavy Industry Concern and Hubris Records in Germany. It's won a lot of awards. Huh. It looks like DDR. I recognize most of these. Whoa, is that seriously Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze? But the one in the middle with the split screens is new to me. Fist of Discomfort, a hybrid real-time strategy and brawler beat-em-up. It's actually not that new. It's been a staple of the esports scene for the last 8 years. 2 genres I was utterly lousy at last time I checked. And over here is an old lady. Sorry ma'am, I was just talking to myself and had an overwhelming urge to complete my sentences. Thankfully, I don't think she even registered me calling her old. She looks up from her knitting, seated behind the ticket prize redemption desk, and offers a wrinkly smile.
Well, hello there. Always nice to meet someone new in the Funplex.
The what?
Francine's Arcade Funplex. Didn't you see the sign out front, dear? Well, I chose to knock off the first 2 words when they got knocked off the building during the storm of 1980. Now it's just the Funplex, I suppose. So, how can I help you, dear?
I'm just gonna say a genie in my phone set up a job interview for me. Magical space fairy or something that lives in my phone told me to come here and find my dream job.
Hello!
I'm a magical space fairy, apparently. I half expected her to send me packing. Pretty impulsive of me to just talk about Iris like that, but she took it in stride.
My, oh my.
My, what they can do with technology these days. I really do marvel at what amazing things young people have in 20XX. Although I'd simply love to take a sledgehammer to those blasted video game consoles that eat at my bottom line, she said with such a kind-hearted and warm smile.
Please, call me Francine. As in, Francine's Arcade Funplex. Get it? Actually, thinking about it, I suppose we were originally Frederick's Arcade Funplex, named after my dear, departed husband. Sadly, he died peacefully in bed some years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, don't be. He died doing what he loved. Having intensely physical relations with me.
That is information I needed to know, yes. And you are? Letters yea, ma'am. Very well, shall we retire the office to conduct your interview? I'd carry it on out here, but it is rather noisy, isn't it? Yeah, about that. How do you deal with the constant noise, anyway? Oh, eventually you just sort of learn how to filter out all the beeps and the boops. It can take weeks to become acclimated, I've found, but in the end, done. She quirks an eyebrow. Well now, that's faster than the others, not bad. So, shall we see what you're made of? This way, please. Francine leads me down a back hallway, past public restrooms, and into a door marked Employees Only. It takes all of my restraint not to point out the extraneous apostrophe. This game just won over my heart. Welcome to our little Oh, sorry, I'm doing the wrong voice. Welcome to our little backstage oasis. I suggest we do this in Gavin's office, but it's a bit too untidy. I don't blame the boy, he's just been so overworked lately. Please have a seat and we'll begin. As quirky as this place and its owner may be, at least I'm confident I can nail the interview portion of the proceedings. I've interviewed for a dozen jobs and held down 3. I know all the standard questions. What are your greatest strengths? What do you see as your weaknesses? Once I even had to describe how to assemble a Lego set to prove my communication skills. Considering I ended up washing dishes, I'm not sure why, but... The point is, I'm confident, prepared, ready.
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
I want this lady to be my boss. What?
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
Right, okay, maybe this wouldn't be a typical job interview after all. No problem, go with the flow, let's do this. So I could be an aggressive T-Rex, a pterodactyl soaring through the sky, or a brontosaurus, big dude enjoys salad. Yeah, probably a pterodactyl. I've always wanted to be a bird, so... Wait, no, all dinosaurs are basically birds. Let me rephrase. I've always wanted to be a flying bird, so pterodactyl. Swooping around, catching updrafts, staying way away from meat eaters. That was the other thing I was thinking about. Really? How exciting! Even if, technically speaking, pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs.
What's your favorite snack?
Snack? If this was a favorite food question, I'd have this down easy. It's tacos. Always tacos, but snacks.
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Ah, stupid free version app. Hush you. Come now, dear, I don't have all day. After giving a good thought, well, how could I forget my favorite snack? Tacos are also my favorite snack. Ooh, a tasty apple with almond butter. That sounds delicious. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. If I'm hungry, I need something that's got enough nutrients and protein to carry me through the rest of the day. That's good. You know how to plan accordingly for any situation. You know what they say, you are what you eat. Next question. Nothing I prepared for has helped me plan for this odd interview. I brace myself for the next one.
What assets can you bring to the team during the inevitable zombie apocalypse?
So, I think if this were ever to happen, first of all, I would die. Let's be real. I would not be one of the people who would survive. I'm way too fragile for that. But if I did happen to survive, I think I would have planning skills. I know a little bit about, like, growing plants. Like, a little bit. I'm not, like, a super good gardener. But I figured that could come in handy. So, like, agricultural skills. You know, I know more than nothing, which I think is most people. Is this interview for real, or is it a dream? As I look into Francine's deadpan expression, I know she's 130% serious. Engineering, I can make stuff. Medical, and hey, no lawyers left to sue for malpractice. To be honest, I would probably get eaten on day one. I actually think I have more medical knowledge than most people. I'm not in the medical profession, but, I watched lots of TLC doctor shows with my mom growing up, so I think I have higher knowledge than most people. Medical, definitely. In a world without lawyers, I'm sure I could do a reasonable job. But seriously, I did have to take a first aid class when I worked at previous jobs, and CPR lessons. I have also done those. That's a great point. Doctors and nurses will all be exposed to assorted patient zeros and will be the first ones eaten. People with any medical knowledge will be high in demand. It could be the difference between your party living and dying slowly. And painfully. One more thing.
Why are you here?
The question is so simple, and almost actually relevant to career planning, it takes me off guard. I told you, the magical space fairy in my phone sent me here to find a job.
You're seeking a job, true? But that doesn't really answer my question, does it? No doubt you think my interview questions are a bit silly, but I like to think of the Funplex as more than a collection of tasks and people to perform those tasks. Most folks my age opening arcades at that time saw it as just another way to make a quick buck. But, well, I saw it as something else. Something more than a way to make a large pile of quarters.
It's a gathering place for people.
And I expect you'll find the others working here see it as something more too. Everyone has a dream they're chasing, dearie. And for my friends, it lies within the Funplex. Now, if all you want is a paycheck, I can provide that. But the last fellow in your position, that's all he wanted. And he didn't last long. So I ask you again, why are you here?
To be honest, I didn't have a better answer than a vague hope that maybe this time I wouldn't lose everything. But that's just enough motivation to face each day, no more than that. It wouldn't be enough to answer her question. I needed to actually think this through, and give a personality-based answer. A funplex. A flex of fun, and I like fun. To be honest, I don't know, not yet. I'm looking for hope. I haven't had much lately. If I don't dare to take risks, I will be stuck, or confused silence. This person seems like I don't think I would ever do this on a real job interview, but she seems to be, want an emotional answer out of me, and honestly, I'm looking for hope. I haven't had much lately. I understand I'm not whining or looking for pity, but my life has been a complete mess for over a decade, in and out of jobs, taking what I can get, settling, compromising. I gave up on hoping for something better a long time ago, but, well, the people in my life who are close to me keep encouraging me to try and chase my dreams. That's why I'm here. I'm looking for the answer to your question. But I won't be daydreaming all the time, I promise. My last job, I was a lifeguard. That takes a lot of focus. I'll be just as attentive in helping your funplex. Very good answer. That perks her attention. Oh my, a rather serious occupation, that. And an unusual step from such troubled waters to a land of make-believe. Hi, Super Base, it's all visual novels. Yeah, I mean... We did have, Apico on Sunday, but yeah, we've had a couple visual novels in a row. Always has been. The game tomorrow is something called Armello, and that is not a visual novel, so... You enjoy this role as a lifeguard, I take it? Yes, ma'am. My roommate says she often noticed me smiling after coming home from work. Which makes Francine smile in turn. I can't say I offer a role with such high stakes, but you'd be surprised in many ways one can save a life, even here. Very well, I'm satisfied. Let's get you to work. I breathe easier at that. Probably the weirdest job interview I've ever had, to be sure, and yet it felt appropriate, like it was about far more than just filling a slot on the payroll. Francine leads me back to the arcade floor to introduce me to my duties. It only occurs to me now that I forgot to ask exactly what duties this mystery job I'd accepted really involve. Also, how much is the pay? Is it gonna cover my rent? Francine gestures to the seat she was occupying previously, a stool behind the prize desk.
Oh, how marvelous.
Welcome to your new position, Letters. Sitting here, you mean? Sitting here and helping players redeem tickets for valuable prizes. I glance at the wide array of pencil toppers, rubber spiders, and tiny plastic toy cars on display. Well, for prizes at any rate. It's such a relief. I'd really been stretching myself thin lately trying to fill in since this position was vacated. If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, why did the last guy who sat here end up quitting? Something about being so bored out of his mind that he felt like jamming one of those 500-ticket plush dolls down someone's throat. Poor dear, he just wasn't cut out for this line of work. Grandson or no, I have no patience for such nonsense. I'm sorry, the last person to work this desk was your grandson? Anyway, Gavin should be by soon. He'll handle paperwork and all that administrative nonsense. Now, if you don't mind, all this is tiring me out some. I'll be in the back office if you need me. Okay then. I adjusted my seating on the semi-comfortable stool, leaned against the desk. Beneath me, a wide array of cheap junk awaited my attention. I could have lost hope then and there that this job would be even slightly more engaging than being a diner dishwasher, but chose to look on the positive side. I'd be helping kids obtain toys that would become nostalgic memories for years to come. Yeah, let's be positive. Right? Any minute now. I crave the sweet embrace of death. I've been sitting here for 2 hours now, and nobody's walked up to obtain a novelty Funplex shot glass, or a colored pencil set, or a light-up yo-yo. Lunchtime's approaching, and so far the only people walking in and out of the arcade are a few stray adults, who have no interest in cheap friendship bracelets. You just watched your ultimate death knight get one-tapped by a Fenax? You're scared. Oh no. This would be like watching someone neutral a Bowser off the stage from full health. Yikes. Thankfully, my first customer of the day arrives before I could start wondering if one of those 500 ticket plushies could relief it down someone's throat. Or maybe not. Nope, just walking right on by me, his head buried reading in some sort of spreadsheet off his tablet. Was he here to play? Doesn't seem like a typical businessman on a break, or an unwashed and unemployed game aficionado. In fact... Snappy dresser. I didn't see... Seems a cool dude. Most of the guys I know are content to toss on a shirt and jeans. Not this guy. Even in an arcade, he's sharp like a linoleum knife. A linoleum knife? What the... In fact, that rather pointed look he is offering me after doubling back is rather linoleum knifey too. Hold on a minute. Who are you exactly? What are you doing behind that desk? Where's Francine? I am Francine. Pleased to meet you. I'm Letters. Hello, I'm Letters, yeah, your new hire. I'm looking forward to working with you. He relaxes somewhat on hearing that. Somewhat. I mean, you can tell he has the little logo. This is apparently a thing. Getting one-tapped?
Good to hear.
It's about time. I was wondering how long she'd have to work the desk. She's got gusto for an octogenarian and loves working the floor, but sitting here all day handing out toys and dealing with problems wears her down. Oh, a linoleum knife. Yes. Yeah, I've only ever heard of linoleum being like a thing you put on floors. Maybe it's a knife meant to cut through linoleum? That could make sense. So she explained the job to you? Gave you the papers to sign? She said Gavin would handle that stuff. I'm assuming he's Gavin. I'd be correct. Ooh. With a sigh, he rubs his forehead, feeling a headache coming on.
That would be me. I'm Gavin Cooper. I'm the business manager here at the Funplex. I make sure we manage to keep having a business, rather than a pile of rapidly collapsing fiscal mistakes.
A linoleum knife, also called a banana knife or hook axe, is a small knife that has a short, stiff blade with a curved point and a handle, and is used to cut linoleum or other sheet materials, such as wood paneling and veneer and sheet mica. Cool. Right, so as you've no doubt guessed, you'll be exchanging tickets for prizes, but that's the least part of your job. There's more to it than that? You're the floor attendant. You attend to the floor. What, the carpets?
Seriously?
The floor. The arcade, the games, the patrons. You're the one running around putting out fires and sorting out problems. Technically, you are second floor attendant. Ashley will be in later, but we need two. One to roam and one to operate the desk. I'd do it myself, but I'm typically busy in the back office, making sure the whole thing doesn't fall into bankruptcy. That's why Francine loved filling in. She's a people person. She loves helping out in a pinch. I am not a people person, as you have likely gathered. Doesn't seem so bad. That's not easy to say. That's not to say you're alone out here. I'm in your corner, at least. If things go south, you tap me for advice on what to do. You got a phone? Of course. Gavin quickly passes me his business card. He apparently has a stack of them at the ready in his pocket. Go figure. His phone number is listed at the bottom. You ever work a high-pressure customer service job before? Shoe sales. Recognizing one's own flaws is the first step to self-improvement, indeed. Smelly socks? You have no idea. Right, well, you know how to keep your head when a customer doesn't, I hope. But anything goes sideways, you text me. I'm not around, you text Ashley or Naomi. In that order. Who and who? You'll meet them soon enough.
I think not.
Above all, do not bug Francine. She is practically retired. Let her enjoy that retirement in peace. Understood? But 911 for huge emergencies, right? This is my first pony ride. You can rely on me. Stress feeds me, makes me strong. This is not my first explosive ordnance test. I have worked retail and food service, and I've worked lifeguard pool. Managing stress in difficult situations, even life or death ones, is something I've got experience in. You can rely on me. Gavin nods approvingly. Oh! I think that means he liked my answer. That's the first time I've gotten that.
Indeed.
Good, I like to hear that. If you can handle yourself and exercise good judgment, you'll last a hell of a lot longer than the last guy who sat here.
If you stay clear and honest with me, do your work, do it well, we'll get along swimmingly. I have enough problems keeping this magical arc of hopes and wishes afloat. Please, don't add to my problems.
Magical arc of what now? Gavin sighs again, a stress release gesture, but his expression softens somewhat afterwards.
I take it Francine told you her theory. that this is more than just a job, more than just an arcade.
That's my understanding.
I'm not into dressing up words. I like to speak plain. If I'm curt, then that's because optimization is a factor of my job.
I can respect that.
Everybody working here wants to work here. This is where they belong, for one reason or another. Me, I love chaos. I love wrangling chaos specifically. The arcade industry is high risk, high reward. I manage that risk so that they can also find happiness in their lives. Everybody in this business has a dream they're chasing. It's a fragile thing, prone to getting crushed by hard reality. My job is to see to it that never happens. That includes Francine, who deserves better in her twilight years than desperately propping up a semi-failing business.
Wait, semi-failing?
So, you find some value in this place beyond your salary, or you'll burn out. Trust me. Last guy to sit there burned out hard. Now, can I trust you to mesh with our merry misfits?
I'm gonna be honest and say I'm still trying to figure out my why. To be honest, I'm still sorting out why I'm here, what my dream is. But I'm not here to step on anyone else's dreams in the process. I'm here to do my best at supporting everyone. He liked that answer too. Cool. I'd say we share similar views then. It'll be a pleasure to work with someone who's actually enthusiastic and competent. And hopefully, this hive of weirdness will help you find your dreams along the way. Anyway, I need to go prepare your paperwork. Technically, you shouldn't be working until we've crossed the I's and dotted the T's, but since I'm already sitting here, you'd rather I stick around? That would be accurate. If you're willing to fudge things a bit and work it today anyway, it'll help us out a lot. Now, if you don't mind, Naomi could use a hand in the workshop. A good opportunity to introduce yourself as well. Got it. Wait, someone else is here? I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, that sounds like Naomi. Her workshop's through the door there, the one next to the UFO catcher, the crane game, to use layman's terms. Satisfied for now, Gavin heads into the back, presumably to the office, to crunch some numbers. Francine's really taking a nap back there? Hopefully he's going to crunch quietly. My first coworker ended up slightly less cool of a guy than I thought he'd be, but he's not a jerk, definitely. I get where he's coming from. Plus, I've known really blunt people before. It's easy to mistake them for jerks, especially at first glance. I figure I can give this guy an honest chance. I didn't think that he was jerky at all, but I tend to like direct approaches like that. Anyway, I should go meet my next coworker, this Naomi that he mentioned, although I could swear Francine and I were the only ones here until now. A double door, also marked employees only, also with an apostrophe, leads to the arcade floor to what feels like an industrial area of some sort. I'm enjoying that they're making fun of some of the bad spelling and stuff. I turn the handle and step inside. I might want to save at some point. Let's see. In a little room tucked away between the back offices and the Funplex front, I find what is very likely this Naomi, spoken only of in myth and legend. One of your favorite quotes, you discover who someone is at their weakest moment. Yeah. A girl about my age, but certainly not my height, is tinkering away on what looks like an old tube-style monitor. Huh, I didn't realize they had so many circuits. She doesn't notice me when I come in, too busy soldering a capacitor into place. The lingering smell of melting metals fills the air of the poorly ventilated workshop. Oh no. Excuse me. For lack of a better way to interrupt her. I was worried no matter what I did, she might, I don't know, burn her fingers or jump so high she hit the ceiling or something. Fortunately, the shock's not that intense.
Ah! Oh. Hey, you know this room is for employees only.
She said with no apostrophe.
Are you lost? Do you need something?
I'm Letters Yay. I'm the new floor attendant, starting today.
Oh, hi. I didn't realize Francine already found someone. I guess I forgot to check my text. Whoops.
Gonna call your shot, but manager dude is actually crazy for games, but he's sort of losing his he's sort of lost his enthusiasm after realizing he can't make money doing what he loves. Well, oh no, she's cute. One thing that's interesting about this game is that it's set in an alternate future where, the arcade bust never happened. E.T. was never released, and so, it didn't cause the arcade industry to crash. And so you actually can make money doing an arcade, but it's a very competition-heavy business. A lot of people are trying to do it, so it's a different problem. So it's like, it can be successful, but yeah, it's possible that Manager Dude likes games. She spares a glance at her phone on the nearby workbench, where a huge stack of green notification messages lie in wait. She got involved in what she was doing. One thought comes to mind on actually seeing her. No wonder I didn't notice her until now. She was totally focused on the task at hand. I'm not going to be sexist. The room's right at the heart of the building, but totally isolated. With the heavy doors closed behind me, I can barely hear the arcade. Considering how completely and utterly dedicated she was to that monitor, not even noticing me, I guess that's also why. But what I first noticed is her smile. Even when squinting to see the tiny components on that circuit board, even when laser-focused, she was smiling happily.
Anyway, I'm Naomi Fairchild, the Funplex's techie. Hi! Pleased to meet you. I was expecting Gavin, though. He usually checks up on me about now.
He's busy doing strange things with numbers. Right, but I mean, here he is. Here is he, still doing his best, but he has to make so many sacrifices. Games he knows do well over games he wants. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, that sounds like Gavin. I take it he sent you along to help? Great. Give me a hand with this monitor. It's really heavy, and I'm still paranoid about dropping it after what happened last time.
This girl reminds me of, what's her name? Is it Casey? From, the space western, Firefly. Really? What happened last time?
Oh, well, I dropped it.
Just obviously with glasses. And, you know, not space attire. She helps me lift the large cathode ray tubes, slotting the heavy metal framework into place within the exposed guts of nearby arcade cabinet. Once done, she starts hooking wires back up to other wires. Surprisingly, there's a surprising number of green circuit boards in that largely hollow wooden shell. It's the first time I've seen inside one of these things. It's weird. Lots of empty space, a couple of large slabs of circuits, and that beefy monitor. Make a ton of sense as she's a popular media icon, and many people's inspiration for the archetype would be sourced there. Yeah. I'm not Joker. Why is it so empty in there? It seems inefficient. Couldn't you pack more games into the arcade if it was more compact? Much the same way most tough outdoorsy girls are very Lara Croft-like. Not really, it's more about the footprint on the floor than the vertical height. Naomi keeps working, using a pocket multimeter to check various connections as she speaks.
Let me explain.
I mean, compare American and Japanese cabinets. Ours are designed for standing players, so they have to be upright, even if that means an empty base. Japanese candy cabs are shorter, so you play sitting down, but I prefer American style. Ours have more room for art. She closes up the rear access panel, closing it with one of the many keys on her keyring on the keyring at her side, then steps back to admire her handiwork. Nerd. There's a genuine joy in that smile. Not just a job well done, but looking at the whole thing, it's like a fine sculpture.
So beautiful.
Ooh, I love the classic Midway style. Look at those sharp angles. The side art decals. The bold font on the marquee. The bezel artwork. You just had to do it. I figured she wear it as a badge of honor. Oh yeah, she's total nerd. The what on the what and the what artwork? With a sigh, Naomi points out key features to me. The strip across the top with the game title, that's the marquee. The artwork that wraps around the monitor, that's the bezel. I mean, you see it too, right? How beautiful and cohesive it all is, working in harmony to give this game its own unique feel, its own experience. For bonus points, name an arcade cabinet done by Midway. Oh god. So, I was kind of born. I wasn't really alive during arcades' heyday, or at least I wasn't old enough to use them. Mortal Kombat's the big one most people would think of? Oh, okay. Yeah, I could tell you a little bit about pinball machines, mainly because I played the heck out of Pinball Arcade, which was a PlayStation 4 game, I think. It had Williams cabinets. It had some. You also born after the arcade boom, but often people develop interests that may predate them. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. A lot of my favorite tables are Williams, but they also have Bailey ones, and one that starts with a G, which I don't tend to like as much. It's saying run an ad, so I'm gonna run an ad real quick. Lack of knowledge is never a sign someone's dumb, but lack of pursuit of knowledge is much more damning. Absolutely. Okay. We should be back from ad break now. I've had to accept that the MCU may be in a decadent period at this point, with, you know, insane budgets and low quality, and directors and writers just looking to make a name for themselves rather than actually giving a crap about the product they put out. You know, Quantumania, I think, was the least good Marvel movie that I've experienced, and then it was followed up by Secret Invasion, which was the least good series that I've ever seen. I don't know. I think I may have to quit. It sucks though, because it was important to me for a while, and I have like a lot of knowledge about it, I guess. Ask me, well, I agree, it's beautiful in its own way. The way she stares lovingly at this, well, honestly, this box of wooden circuits and vacuum tubes and stuff, I think I understand. It was made to be one whole thing. The art, the style, and of course the game itself, all part of the same experience. Everything about this game is the game. If you run it in an emulator or on a game console instead, it's made lesser. It's a lot like you, and when I someday leave Raid, what do you do? Yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucks that I feel like two of my big interests, MCU and Magic, are kind of going to crap at the same time. You got so invested in the game that a part of you feels gone, yeah. I'm trying to remember that, you know, I have my own identity outside of these things. Like, I'm, you know, trying to let go of ego and not just overly associate with this stuff, but it's hard. It's beautiful in its own way. Oh, good. Naomi lights up with joy like a pinball machine, all twinkly and shiny. Finally, so few people really understand the beauty of a classic arcade game. Having someone I can talk to about this stuff is going to be great. Especially with that jerk Gavin running the numbers. Gavin? What's wrong with Gavin?
I don't know.
Okay, well, don't get me wrong, I can get along with him, generally, but his whole attitude is just, ooh. All he really cares about is money. Keeps the arcade running, yeah, but I just know if he had his way, he'd gut the whole place. If anybody's gonna ruin the Funplex, it's him. Mark my words, it's inevitable. See, what she's not understanding is that both people are necessary to run this place. You need somebody who's going to be doing the numbers, and you need somebody who's doing the operations on the ground. That's another part of why I want me to try Hearthstone Arena, to see if it's really magic, and not just magic draft me dumb. That doesn't sound right. He seemed easy enough to get along with, and what's more, Gavin gave me that whole speech about protecting their dreams. This looks like a pretty sore point here, a long-standing argument that the new gal really shouldn't get involved with. And yet, I'm involved, aren't I? I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin. So I'm not sure I should prod at it, but I kinda want to know, too. I'm gonna clear the air and find out more. I get this is touchy, but if I'm gonna work here, I think we should all be honest with each other, no gossiping. So I gotta know, why do you think Gavin wants to destroy the arcade? He buys into Francine's idea that this is the place for dreams. He says he does, but he's willing to sacrifice way too much just to keep the whole thing afloat. Road to hell, best intentions, etc. If he had his way, this place would be like Deco's Palace, nothing but ticket games and prize catchers. He thinks actual video games are too expensive, a waste of floor space. I bet he'd remove them all if he had his way. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him to do the right thing. But that's my problem, not yours. Sorry to drop the gossip on your head like this. Thanks for hearing me out anyway. Or possibly several dumb formats in a row. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now for the less fun part. You seem a strong, strapping kind of gal. Well, a strong gal, at least. Well, you're a gal. That's enough. I'm semi-insulted, then? Okay, let's get to it. Right, a little to the left now. My left, my left. You're right. Careful. Now forward. Right, correct. I mean, not turn to right. Keep it coming, and there. Carefully, carefully, tip it into place. Victory! I gently ease the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box slotting into place alongside its neighbors. The two-wheeled dolly makes it easier, but hardly easy, especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched, or worse, falling over. But with work done, she's all smiles again. Okay, glad to be done with that one. I swear, I've been working on that monitor for ages. The tubes are finicky as heck. I'm still not totally satisfied with the flyback, but thanks for helping me out, Letters. I think you're gonna do just great here. Happy to haroo. Oh, right, stomach growling. Food required, except I wasn't expecting to actually be working today. I forgot to pack a lunch.
Pizza on a bagel.
So, Iris is my help manager app, and I have the free version, so she's sponsored by Pizza Yums. So that's why she's constantly talking about pizza, in case you were wondering. I don't know if you were here for that, Super Base. Shh. Hey, so any good restaurants in walking distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but... Oh, not really, unfortunately. I mean, there's a cheapo whoop sub sandwich place, but even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to be healthy. Hey, I know, wait right here. And she's off, scurrying back to her hidey hole. And she's scurrying back from her hidey hole. Lunchtime, here you go. She presses a box lunch into my hands. It's a bento box. I learned how to make them from my mom, who learned from her mom back when they lived in Japan. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good healthy things. Wait, you're giving me your lunch? Sure, why not? And yet when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That escalated quickly. What do you have for lunch then? Oh, I could just get some nachos from the vending machine or go hit the whole story next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway. But you said eating healthy was important? See you after lunch! I can't help she was looking for an excuse to get some junk food instead. I'd say Naomi definitely fits in with Francine's ideals for this arcade. She's got a love for these games, and it shows. And giving me her lunch? Me, a total stranger? That's a kindness I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it all the same. So, a bento box. I've only seen these in anime. It's cute, and hopefully has plenty of calories, too. Armed with a box of health food, I retire to the employee lounge to get my munch on. So, it's been about an hour and 13 minutes, so I want to give my initial thoughts on this game. Way better than Angel Wings, which makes sense because it cost money. I originally got this in the Valentine's Humble Bundle. And this definitely has a personality. It's established my main character as, you know, needing to have a job, and it has interesting characters, good character art. Francine, the lady who owns the arcade, the octogenarian who owns the arcade, is hilarious. Yeah, it just seems to have good humor. I like the system of choices. I've already made a good number of choices. Mm-hmm. Right, original character art, not stock art pulled off Google. I would be interested in continuing the story. I feel like the setting is interesting, this kind of alternate near future. You know, it's similar enough, but it has that kind of quirky differentness. I just noticed the sign says penguin there, baby. Like, hang in there. So yeah, I've been enjoying this so far, so I would definitely say this is worth the purchase. And I would probably continue, like, if I go to the Steam store, how much does this cost? Will it show me how much it costs? It's a $20 game. Ooh, they have a bundle. Yeah, $20 is hard to swing. But I would definitely say, you know, getting it on sale. You think you have the grade? Yeah, get it on sale. Mm-hmm. Which I did, because it was part of that Humble Bundle. But I'm pretty happy with this. And the fact that this came in the same Humble Bundle as Ambition, which I also thought was good, but get it on sale? Yeah. If you like visual novels, I would definitely say this one is good. And I've really only scratched the surface here. I've only met 4 characters. My roommate, Francine, who owns the arcade, and then Gavin and Naomi. My character is making me hungry. There's not a whole lot of customization for your character. There's one outfit and, you know, 3 different hairstyles, and that's it. But, you know, it's enough. You're not looking at your character most of the time. Incoherent screaming, coherent screaming, await death. I'm assuming it's a mascot. I opened my mouth as wide as I could and let the fear fall from my lips, my mind devoid of any emotion but horror. Horrific vision. Whoa, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Oh, I'm a real human being, I promise. It's just a costume.
Hey, so I'm sorry if I traumatized you. Really.
Oh my god.
Can we start over, maybe?
I nod my head slowly, although that could just be muscle spasms from being in shock. I think the F is a perfectly valid reaction for chat to have.
I'm Ashley.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they talked about Ashley earlier. And I'm Letters.
I'm also Pinky, the Funplex Flamingo. It's my secret, yet not so secret identity.
What the Funplex what now? There's almost too much to take in. Gavin was a bit of a lot. Naomi was off the scale cheerful. I met some really intense people so far.
Did you sneak into the employee section just to get my autograph?
Me or no?
Oh, I thought you would recognize Pinky from all the signs around the arcade. Pinky is the mascot of the Funplex after all.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Gavin, Ashley, and Naomi are all romance candidates. Because they're all cute. Oh no, that's not what I meant at all. I mean, I work here.
You work here? Since when?
Today? This morning, to be specific.
Oh, awesome! Welcome to the Funplex.
I mean, it would have been way cooler if you were just so enamored with the chibi flamingo creature plastered on every wall that you had to know more.
Let's see.
You could have stealthily maneuvered your way through all the games, sliding up on the employees. Not choking on crumbs. Sliding right on up to the employee-only door. But how did you get the door code?
Ooh.
Of course. You would have collected the password on a piece of paper that fell from Gavin's pocket. You searched your heart and decided the 4-digit number had to be the intel you needed.
Let's see.
Next, you needed to lie in wait for the opportune moment to punch in that secret code, just to find me. I feel like somebody wants to be a storyteller or a game designer. It just keeps going and going. She seems very creative. Definitely passionate about this fictional scenario. The way she just takes an idea and runs with it, a lot of people might find that weird, but I kind of dig it. Shows a lot of imagination. I wonder if she's a writer or something. And how would you have snuck out, I wonder? I could have helped, but for a price. Ashley finally realizes she's been babbling to herself for a good couple minutes. Something else that I did is that, at the beginning of the game, I was able to choose whether I wanted to be flirty right off the bat, if I wanted to just kind of have romance as a possibility but not go in strong day one, or if I wanted to just be friends with people. So I chose the middle option, but apparently we could be, like, flirting right now. Depending on your visual novel desires. Oops. Sometimes I get swept up in a good story. I mean, I gotta find some way to make this job more interesting. Is it really that dull here? No, not really. I just crave a different kind of excitement than beeps and boops, screaming children, and broken machines. Just realized by your raid mentor basically would fit in on the nose with the girls from the Angel VN. That's funny. Yeah, I feel like with the Angel VN, the problem with that was that we met too many girls in, like, too short a period of time and didn't get to know them very well. She's legit one of the girls from the complex, so... Which one? The sporty one? The shy schoolgirl who looks younger than she is? Or the bitch? Or the motherly one? I guess there's technically 4, I wasn't counting K. Multiple of them doing a fusion dance. Yeah. You're really painting the best picture here. Ah, geez, I don't mean to be a downer. I just want to move up in the world. I've got things to accomplish, dreams to fulfill, cosplay to make. Cosplay? As we switch topics, it's like she's a completely different person. Ashley's eyes light up and she smiles. Because right now she's a snarky bitch mode, but then you realize she's also Raid CM. Ooh. Yeah, you know, like dressing up as your favorite video game character, or a TV character. I love it. It's so empowering to be able to make your own costume and wear it proudly. It's even better when people recognize what character you are. Empowering, really? Granted, she certainly had the power to stop my heart for a few beats. Definitely, you want to try? Got a favorite game character? I can help you make your first cosplay if you want. In fact, I made this one! I think Ashley's pointing to her flamingo costume, but it's a little hard to tell with her hands as feathers. So, Pinky is your creation? Intentionally? Yep, looks pretty good for my first mascot cosplay, doesn't it? I don't think it's that terrifying. But I would probably stitch my hands together if I tried that. I'm all thumbs when it comes to stuff like that. Literally, if I get enough thread running between them. I am pretty impressed, though. Naomi was going on about craftsmanship of games. Clearly, you're digging on craftsmanship of costumes. Aw, thanks. It's nice when hard work is appreciated. I wear it around the Funplex to liven up the crowds, get people pumped up to play some games, and the kids seem to adore it. That makes sense. Although the arcade has been completely dead so far, no crowds to pump or kids to be adored by, it's still morning. People are in school. Hey, secret between you and me? Ashley motions for me to come closer. She leans in, glances around the room for once, and then talks in a hushed tone. I did some repairs on Pinky overnight. I had to restitch the left arm, and I was giving her old test drive to make sure it doesn't fall off. Huh, limbs falling off seems bad. Oh, it was. Yesterday I was dancing with a little girl, must have been like 5-6 years max. Anyway, we were at Showtime stage when she tugged on my arm, and whoosh, off came the arm. The girl instantly started bawling. Well, at least you were consistently scaring people, and it's not just me.
Nope.
Hey now. Ooh, big old spider. Looks like a daddy long legs, though. I think we're okay. I don't want that to happen. I felt so bad. That's daddy long legs. But enough about me. What about you? So you're Carl's replacement. Daddy Longlegs actually eat other spiders. Fun fact. I guess so. I'm a new floor attendant. I attend the floor. Floor is a thing I am tending to when I'm not going into cardiac arrest. At least you're funnier than Carl, that's for sure. Can't wait to go home and tell Juniper I do have a sense of humor. She'll be so proud. I assume you've already met Francine, but have you had a chance to meet Gavin and Naomi yet? Yeah, I met them already, although it seems like they aren't too keen on each other. Right? Ashley rolls her eyes and lets out a sigh. Wish they would hurry up and make out already. Yeah. Wait. What? Seriously? So are they going out? Nope. But they always bicker like an old married couple. It's a classic anime cliche. The ones who fight always end up together. Mark my words, letters. Actually seems like a little bit of a weeb. And consider them marked. Beep beep letters. What's that sound? Drat, I set an alarm for when our lunch break is over. Time to go back to Grindstone. Didn't even get a chance to eat. That's no good. Letters needs your calories. You eat up. I'll go watch the floor. In fact, how about I take over the ticket desk for the next shift? You can do my job and wander the floor a bit. Fair enough, thanks. Ashley winks before her face disappears into the dark recesses of that inhuman mask. As I'm wolfing down rice in the shape of a little heart, wow, it occurs to me I didn't actually ponder my first impressions of Ashley yet. Let's see. She's pretty amazing. I like her enthusiasm about her art. The way Ashley's whole expression changed when she talked about things she's passionate about just warmed my heart. Her beaming energy just lights up the whole room. I wonder if one day I'll be that excited about something. Anyway, with my lunch in my belly and break time complete, the second half of my workday began. Rolling into the afternoon, the crowd starts to fill out. School's done, and the late rising pros are heading out to their arcades of choice. With Ashley covering the desk, my job is to wander the floor looking for problems, or potential problems, or just making sure everything's a-okay. Interesting choice, she puts the eyes on the side of the neck so Pinky is basically always at profile. But for starters, it's a good moment to collect my thoughts. I think I'm off to a decent start with my coworkers, good first impressions at any rate. Cooperation is going to be a must. I've had awful coworkers before and they can really drag you down. Hang on, no time for daydreaming. I think I spot, let's see, 3 possible issues to look into. I should have time to get to all of them, but which should I tackle first? I will do an irate customer near Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. My mutant floor attendant senses detect danger from the left-hand side of the arcade. I quickly rush on all 30 feet to the scene of the crime, already in progress. Come on! Hurry the bleep up and finish your game! You work here. Saw you behind the desk earlier. Note to self, ask Gavin for a name tag or something. Yes, I'm Letter's floor attendant. Well, stop attending to the carpets and attend to me. I want this bleep to wrap up his damn game so I can play. Ashley's face is obscured behind her costume mask, but I can feel her wince as the man curses up a blue streak. Sir, there are children present. Please keep the swearing to a minimum. You kick this fat piece of bleep off this game, and I'll sing Mary Had a Little Lamb all you want. Figuring I ought to hear the fat piece of bleep side of the story before rushing to a judgment, I tap the player on the shoulder. And he doesn't even notice my tapping. So I tap again, twice. Sir, there are other players waiting to give Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze a spin? Curiously, the player looks up at the game's marquee, thank you, Naomi, which simply reads, Moopy! You know the game's full name? Sure, I played it a lot when I was a kid. It's actually called Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, right? Wizards and pellets and monsters and stuff? Yeah. A bit terse as he's laser focused on the game, and I can see why. He's currently sitting on 714,900 points. Holy crap, that's a heck of a high score. Or as this other guy would probably put it, holy bleep, that's a bleep of a high score. Excuse me. Right, sir, can you please wrap up your game? Nope. I'm keeping on good pace here. Plenty of lives stocked, on par for getting close to the world record before the kill screen. Somehow the thick arcade jargon sounds classier when draped in his British accent. Oh, should have been giving a British accent apparently. Like I'm watching some documentary program on BBC. Program, spelled the British way. Yeah, but this is a public arcade. Other folks want to play the games too. He finishes clearing the current board while pondering the predicament. Okay. At first I think he's stepping away to end the game, but he's letting his stock of 50 extra dudes slowly deplete as he pulls out his wallet. Without pause, he pulls out $3,000 in cash and holds it out. Will this cover it? For a moment, I flash back to that movie where some dude pays another dude to sleep with his wife, and they roll around in bed covered in money, and, cover what exactly? The cost of the game. The game itself. I have never seen this much raw cash in one place at any given time. It's not even in 20s, dudes rolling in Benjamins. One moment please. On it. Fortunately, Iris has my messenger app open for me with Gavin's contact info preloaded. With trembling fingers, I key in. Customer wants to buy Moopy for $3K, what do? In less than a minute, I have my response. Considering we paid $200 for it, plus parts, yes, absolutely yes, sell that relic immediately. Well, okay then. Although, how's Naomi gonna react to this? Offloading one of her darlings just because Gavin wants to make a 15-fold profit? It also feels kind of weird to be taking advantage of the guy's lack of a grasp on the real cost of an old arcade machine. I knew all the workplace drama was going to catch up to me at some point, but with this rando breathing down my neck, I gotta make a decision. So I could be kind and say, the game was $200, but I'm not sure we should sell. $3,000 sounds about right, it's yours. I'm not sure if we should sell this game. I mean, Gavin told me to do it. I mean, we not only was the cabinet $200, but we also put in the parts and the labor. Yeah, there's never a correct branch, yeah. I'm gonna say $3,000 sounds about right, it's yours. I'd say 3 large is more than fair, it's all yours. I quickly pocket the money, feeling vaguely like a thief who will be eating well tonight, mind you. You want me to get the dolly and wheel this old thing out of here for you? But he shakes his head. Absolutely not. I'm leaving the game right where it is. But you bought it? So I can play it whenever I want, for as long as I want, provided nobody else is already playing, of course. Wouldn't be proper to interrupt someone. But I wouldn't want to take it away from the Funplex. Naomi would cry. We can't have that, right? I guess not? Which leaves the rando hopping mad. To be fair, we had been kinda ignoring that he exists. I think I made the right choice. We're gonna have the benefit of it still being here. Yeah, the rando's being a jerk, so... What kind of arcade is this anyway? F this. I'm going to Deco's place. And we just lost a customer. Stomping his way out of the door. Stomp, stomp, stomp. On the plus side, Naomi won't cry. On the negative side, I've just drove a rando out in the cold.
What a disagreeable fellow.
As for the player, well, he goes right back to playing. Eating pellets, zapping ghost monsters, clearing mazes. With the crisis behind us, I can actually focus on who this gonzo rich guy actually is. He does seem to care about more than just his game, because he mentioned, what's-her-face, Naomi. So he cares about how she feels, too. Take it from someone wallowing around in the lower tax brackets, the rich can do whatever they want, whenever they want. And yet that's not what this guy did. He could have, but he just let us keep the game. He just wanted to play, that's all. And why? Because of Naomi, because of the Funplex. It's a home and a family for the games and for us. Maybe it's for the best I set that rando out the door in favor of this guy. So you know Naomi? He's happy to talk, even while playing.
Of course. I'm a Funplex regular. My name's Percy. I'd hazard you're our new floor attendant? I was here when Francine seated you behind the desk earlier.
That's me, letter J, Arcade Wrangler.
Well then, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I look forward to getting to know you better.
So you seriously just been playing Moopy all day, huh?
What can I say? It's my calling. I actually owned a Moopy cabinet once. Had it in my flat. But playing it by myself, all alone in the dark, it's not the same. I need the atmosphere.
I've also just noticed he's wearing a Moopy shirt. The beeps and boops?
No, those you eventually learn to filter out. I mean, everything. The games, the lights, the kids, the feeling of being in an arcade. I score my best when I'm in real-world conditions. It's all about the emotions, the laughter and the tears, the excitement of competition. I need that swirling chaos of human emotions around me to play at my finest.
A hair landed on my peanut butter bread. Oh, I guess he's done talking. Naomi gets that. She keeps Moopy in top condition for the day I eventually land my highest score. What's the current world record then? About 3.5 million? I actually have it on maximum volume. First of all, I say quick save. And then go to preferences. Voice volume's on max, but I can turn down the music volume and then turn up the computer volume. Ow. Oh, it's gonna do another ad, so 1 second. Means I can eat my snack. I just noticed the claw game occasionally goes down and up. Okay, that break should be over, and I have now consumed snack. This guy's been standing here since I was working the morning shift, hours and hours, and he's still only about 720k into his game. Can't imagine him being in anything but top health condition to try this. Guy's gotta have legs made out of carbon fiber and a bladder of tungsten. I just let a few extra lives drain out whenever I need to go pee. Also, he may be psychic. I feel like I should let him get back to his game, but burning questions, they burn like fire. How is it he can afford this game? You just have a solid job, good income. If you don't mind commenting on it, there's a lot of money to just have on your person. What do you do for a living? Isn't that? He doesn't really seem to care to talk about his work. Not in a guarded way, just less interesting than his current maze. Maybe he's actually the head of an international diamond smuggling ring. They hide the stones inside arcade games. Day trading. Huh? Day trading, stocks and bonds. Anything anybody can do it if they had head with the numbers. It's really nothing important. Or maybe he's a day trader.
I think so.
I don't feel people are defined by their work. I know the arcade is home to those who've made their passion into their work, but it's the passion that matters more. I've my passions the same as anyone. I look forward to learning yours as well. When I'm not deep in the middle of the game, I mean. It's getting more and more distracted by the game. I should leave him be. I have to do a thing about a thing. Be seeing you, Monsieur. Yet another weird encounter and a string of weird encounters. By the end, he sounded more like the high score junkies you hear about in documentaries, obsession-driven, kind of strange. But that's not the impression I had him from the beginning. He smiled when talking about not splitting up the arcade. Maybe I was wrong about him? Not sure yet. Let's see, what's handle next? Somebody cursing up a storm at Fist of Discomfort. Wonder if you can eventually nudge the non-romance NPCs together with your other partners in crime. For example, this guy's set up that he could easily slot with Gavin or Naomi. Yeah, that could be interesting. There's a lot of shouting coming from the center of the arcade where Fist of Discomfort is being played. I remember Iris telling me about it earlier today while I was bored to death at the ticket desk. Fist of Discomfort, or FOD, is one of the most popular games in the esports circuit. It's been a staple of the scene for over 6 years. One year, Team Wicked Prodigies took on the Unreal and came back to win in the dying seconds of a tiebreaker match to take home a record $5 million prize pot. That's a lot of moolah. And how? Okay, so how does it work? It's a hybrid of real-time strategy and button-mash brawling. Fight your way down to the top and bottom lanes, clearing waves of ninjas to finally topple the enemy dojo. But that's the action part. The strategy part involves using special abilities, purchased items, and ninja summons. FOD is sheer elegance in its simplicity, the way the different game systems interweave to form one masterpiece of esports perfection. So summon good ninjas, punch bad ninjas, smash dojo. I'd say boiling down a rich game of action and strategy played the world over by top gamers in such a way is a bit degrading, but sure, okay. All of which is super interesting and stuff, but right now, all I care about is dealing with the loudmouth currently playing the game. The closer I get, the louder the yelling gets. Most of the words that are...
What the
No, these are definitely all words my mother would disapprove of. You've got to be bleeping me. There's no bleeping way that is even possible. Those hitboxes don't even bleeping connect. Bleep this game. Bleep it all night long. Ha! Get wrecked, says Rando Calrissian. Oh, this is far from over, scrub. I saved up a little something extra special for you. I've been baiting you into attacking my sensei, which you fell for. Hard. Oh, hey, did I forget to mention that I bought an extra ultimate technique scroll from my dojo? Whoops, my bee. Wait, what? You haven't been farming. How could... XP share technique with creep waves. Take this. 5-fold bleeping explosive death claw technique. What? How did you defeat me? No! Sorry, those sound effects were super loud. I did turn them down. I can turn them down more. He did. Oh, they were fine stream end? Oh, okay. We'll turn them back up. No!
Oh, GG. No one can defeat me, Queen Bee.
My dry eyes painfully blinking makes me realize I've been standing here watching intently during that whole exchange. I'm not 100% sure what just happened, but that didn't matter. I was completely sucked in. Couldn't tear my eyes away. It's like watching a train wreck. I mean, if the train was the arcade game and the wreck was that guy's face.
Hey, kid. What are you staring at? Never seen a champion of my caliber before?
Oh, Seeing as I don't even know how to begin to start to even consider how to respond to her question, I have to take a moment and collect my thoughts. From what I've somehow gathered, she goes by Queen Bee. That jacket she's wearing identifies her as a member of L7 Gaming, an arcade's esports team. And she's the most direct, fierce person I've met all day. That's saying a lot, considering who I've run into so far. Why so rude, though? What a sore winner. Does she act this bluntly toward every new person she meets, or grumble whenever she's on the losing end of a fight? It's off-putting. What happened to good sportsmanship and being nice to your fellow human?
Hey, don't just stand there all weird and quiet-like. It's creepy.
She snaps her fingers to grab my attention.
Are you gonna f***ing quarter up or not? Think you can best the hottest rising star of L7?
From what I've seen, I know I couldn't be best a scrub, let alone a professionally competitive player of this game. Nope. No thank you. Plus, I'm not sure I'm allowed to play games while I'm working.
You work here?
Well, I don't want to be argumentative. I could try to deflect with humor, or just give a basic response. Enforce arcade law. In fact, I was just hired earlier. I'm the new floor attendant. If the game eats your quarter, come to me. Ha 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 ha. Wait, you're serious? Okay then, welcome aboard this runaway train.
They haven't given you a name tag yet. How am I supposed to know who you are?
It was actually a weird tack to have me introduce myself to her. I'm Letters. I did technically just start working here 6 hours ago. Might take them time to issue me a name tag. Maybe they need to send a carrier pigeon to an ancient monastery where the name tags are forged in a vast clay oven. Nah, Gavin's just lacking big time. I'll talk to that silly boy for you. Make sure you get some proper respect. Thanks? No problem. We gamers gotta stick together.
I'm Queen Bee, by the way. Aggro-style FOD lane pusher specialist for L7 Gaming.
I figured that when you put your arms over your head, cheered and shouted, "No one can defeat me, Queen
Hey,
Bee."
I do not sound like that.
Yes, you do.
Well, maybe a little.
Anyway, I'm one of the regulars around here, besides Purpur and Teo. So you'll be seeing a lot of me in the future. Let's hope you last longer than the last guy. Oh great, now she's making my job into a competition. Hope there isn't a betting pool, too. You look like a smart kid. You've seen one of my many streams on the internet, right? Nope. I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Really? Have you been living under a rock for the past decade? You consider a small yet formidable apartment a rock? Then yes. Oh, you sweet child. You are so innocent and pure. Come, let me show you the path to darkness that is the internet. My internal sensors are going off, and they're telling me to reverse and leave this conversation ASAP. No, I think I'm okay without that. I'm just going to show you how it all works. Queen grabs my arm and pulls me closer to the Fist of Discomfort cabinet, and upon further inspection I can see the whole haphazard pile of tech she's rigged up. You can't just plug one of these cabs into the internet, so I've used a number of clip-on webcams and mics and stuff. That webcam there, it broadcasts to my own personal PC back home, which then streams matches live to all my fans. The chat room appears on my phone. Costs a bit to put everything all together, and it takes like half an hour to rig up and test each morning, but after doing this here for a couple years, it's easy peasy. Aside from Naomi grinding her teeth at my clip-on cameras from damaging the paint job, I mean. Anyway, I prefer to stream from the Funplex than from home. There's so much to miss out on sitting on your lonesome with the console version of FOD. The crowds, the wicked trash talk, the community. Wait, are you broadcasting live right now? Are we live right now?
No way.
Haha, F no. That was part of my warm-up matches. I've got a pretty big tournament coming up, so I try to get in as much practice as possible. Even if it is with a bunch of fodder. As in FOD-der, as in, you know, chum. Lunch meat. Scrubs. Losers. I got the idea, yes. Queen Bee sees something out of the corner of her eye and glances around the arcade floor. She gives a nod to someone's hanging near the Street Fighter cabinet. Ah, my crew's starting to trickle in. We should be starting team practice soon. Wait, what time is it? At the tone, the time will be 2:25 Eastern PM.
Beep, beep.
What the?
I gotta go live in 5 minutes. Listen, kid, it's been swell. We'll chat later, right? Sure, one thing. Can you keep the swearing down at least a little? We got kids around here, and I don't want you to get in trouble with Gavin. Him? Meh. But for you, I'll keep it to a PG-13 rating. Now, if you'll excuse me, there are some butts out there I need to kick.
Later.
Hear me out, gamer girl whose name anagrams down to easy peasy. And with a wave and a twirl, she completely abandons me and returns to her Fist of Discomfort game. Queen Bee fires up her broadcast rig, and the shouting and milder swearing starts up again. I should probably get out of here before I accidentally end up on the stream. Queen Bee may be certifiable, she's got a volatile personality to say the least. I can't say I clicked with her in the slightest. I'm really hoping that having a trash-talking FOD gang running wild in the arcade won't be a long-term problem. Let's see what to handle next. In the distance, I see a number of people gathering, which is surprising since the first half of my shift was complete and utter solitude. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see that people do come to the arcade, but that's quite the crowd that's assembling. Like, larger than Queen Bee's team was, rowdier too. This has to be against some fire code or safety protocol or something, right? Speaking as a citizen that enjoys living, having an escape route in case of emergency is necessary. Time to clear the way and pave my own path of safety. As I approach, I see flashing neon lights accompanied by upbeat Europop drifts. It's an auditory flashback right to 1980 Blex. I can't help and nod my head to the beat. A pulsating mass of people have surrounded Showtime stage, cheering on the current player. The game itself takes up a whole corner of the arcade, requiring a fair amount of space to actually play. See, this is slowed down, which I actually appreciate. Showtime Stage is an ultra-modern arcade smash hit. It uses motion tracking sensors hidden behind the colored spotlights to check dance pose accuracy and score your sweet moves. It's pure dance fever. Can you catch the fever letters? I had my dance fever shots at the doctor's office earlier this season. As the dance ends, one of the players hops down from the stage and immediately starts talking to a young man leaning up against the back wall. Did you see that, Teo? I got my first AA on Stop the Beat.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, dude, you're doing great. Remember last month you couldn't even pass that song? Totes impressive. I'm gonna keep practicing, and one day, maybe even surpass you. Hey, I hope you do. And when you do, you can be the one who brings in new dancers and teaches them how to play. As the next song starts, my eyes shift from their conversation to observe the gyrations and intricate limb movements coming from the Showtime stage. I feel my head bobbing and my foot tapping. Hey, it really is a catchy song, can you blame me? I'm getting really into it when I feel a hand on my shoulder.
Care to dance?
How about you? Want to take the spotlight? Not sure if I'm supposed to play the games, but I really love me some DDR. Back when I was stomping around on dance mat games as a kid, they had arrows. I'm not sure I even know how to play this one, but it's caught my curiosity. From the previously observed conversation, this guy seems to know the ins and outs of this weird dancing game, and is keen to teach. Before I commit to getting down with my bad self, I think I should know a little more about exactly what that entails. Oh no, he's hot. They're all hot. Super bass. We are in a visual novel. It is a world of hot people. Plus, I'm used to playing these games solo. Less chance of stomping on someone else's foot that way. I would say the only character we've met so far who is not hot is... I guess my roommate is not super hot, and then, the octogenarian is not hot. You had to do the meme? Oh, I didn't know that's a meme. My bad. Plus, I'm used to playing these games solo. Less chance of stomping on someone else's foot that way. 'Tis a valid point. However, how could I resist to ask a gal such as yourself? You caught my eye the moment you walked over.
Wait, you're new here, right?
Yes, very.
My name's Mateo, but everyone here just calls me Teo.
You wouldn't believe the series that started that meme. No, what series was it? SpongeBob of all things, wow. I don't think I've actually ever seen an episode of SpongeBob. I never watched it. It didn't appeal to me as a kid. I think I was a little bit too old for it when it came out, maybe, like by a couple years. I was into anime by then. Teo's the best! Greatest guy here! He's sort of like our leader, yeah?
Oh, please, I'm nothing really.
He looks directly into my eyes.
Nothing as special as you.
Oh, he's a flirt!
I just like to show newbies the ropes and teach them how to play. Our community is small, but we're all super close.
So Squidward is getting ready to meet his rival, who he hadn't seen in quite some time since high school. Eventually, at the big time, he's hyped himself up, and Squilliam makes himself known. Squidward's internal monologue first words, "Oh no, he's hot!"
I think you'd be a perfect addition to our gang. So, what do you say? Play our silly dancing game?
Teo outstretches his arm to me, waiting for my hand to grab his. I'll go for it. There's no rule against not being able to play the games. But I haven't signed any paperwork yet. I couldn't care less that I'm supposed to be working. As a kid, I remember stomping around on dance mats, so why not try out 20XX's hottest dancing game? Even if I technically don't know how to play it yet. Without a thought, I take his hand. Let's do this. As I'm about to step on the stage, an ominous shiver crawls down my spine. I glance over and spot Ashley standing behind the ticket counter. I know I can't see her face behind the mask, but I can totally sense she's glaring daggers my way. It's creeping me out. On second thought, I'm actually supposed to be working right now. I'm the new floor attendant, Letters. Really? But I haven't seen you around here at all. What happened to the other guy? He was actually pretty cool at Showtime stage, now that I think about it. He's out, I'm in. Currently year 0 of floor attendant Letters regime.
Hello there.
It's an honor to meet you, Letters. I hope we get to know each other well. Indeed. For someone that loves Showtime stage as much as you do, I haven't actually seen you play yet. True, most of the time during these meetups, I tend to let everyone else play. I go around and make sure everyone is happy and having a blast. What about you and your feelings? Theo shrugs. My happiness comes from making other people happy. That's all I need in life. Which is all well and good, but I still need to deal with this crowd. How best to handle it? We need to seriously talk about crowd sizes. I know you're having a ball over here, but this crowd is blocking the emergency exit. By law, we have to keep a path present. Can you let it slide just this once? For me? Nope. If I let it happen once, then it's gonna happen all the time. I get it though, your crew's passionate about this game, that's a good thing. But a stampede on my first day of work would be bad for everyone involved. Can you imagine the headlines? Local arcade floor attendants trampled on first day, blood everywhere. Very true. I don't want to be checking out my social media tomorrow and click the link to your obituary. We totes can't have that. I got this. Luckily, the song that was being played just finished. Teo jumps up on the stage and cups his hands over his mouth. Hey, listen! We need to keep the area to the left of the stage clear. Hey now, you know the deal. We all have to be cool about fire safety. It's Letter's first day, so let's show her some respect. I see everyone turn around and glare at me. Great, now I'm going to be known as the party pooper. Guess I've had worse reputations in my lifetime. Like that one time I had to close the pool because of that dirty bandage floating in the water. No one would talk to me for a week. Hey, don't disappoint me, crew. Letter's just doing her job. Reluctantly, a crowd reshuffles itself in a semi-orderly fashion. As everyone settles into a safer way of watching the game, Teo jumps down and comes back to me. Better? I nod, genuinely impressed with how Teo can capture his community's attention. They listen to him and have the utmost respect for him. Yeah, actually, much better.
Didn't mean to cause any trouble. Sometimes we just get so caught up in the game, you know? Of course you know. Hey, you should still join us later. Maybe when your shift's over. We'll all be here dancing until closing time.
As long as that dancing is within the law, carry on. Officer Letters has spoken. Start to walk away ready for my next venture when I remember something I should do. I turn back to Teo. Hey, thanks.
No problem.
Well, I feel nice and accomplished. I was able to uphold the safety of the arcade and make a new friend. I say that's pretty good for my first day. Even Gavin's gotta be impressed, right? With that business sorted out, it's time to leave Showtime stage. The arcade is now at peace. My work here is done. Well, actually, we're a few hours from closing time, so my work here isn't quite done, but, you know. I'm so at peace, in fact, that I don't even notice the underboss of the arcade sliding up behind me. Not a bad first day so far. I've been keeping tabs on you. Well, others have been. They've been texting me. You know, you should consider getting a proper group chat going. I've got a crappy phone plan. My texts aren't free. A valid point. I'll look into that.
Impressive.
I'm impressed with how you handle yourself. I think you're going to work out just fine. Anyway, I've prepared your paperwork. If you'd like to go sign it and make this working relationship a bit more above board.
Yeah.
So you're staying? Please tell me you're staying. I mean, I fed you and everything. Francine hasn't fired her yet, right? An adorable nightmare joins the impromptu staff gathering.
Ooh.
Letter's off to a great start. Here's to your first day, followed by many more. Don't you two have jobs to attend to? Just ordered a replacement power supply for Robotron. Nothing left to do for the day. Not many kids around for me to entertain. Finally, a quiet moment. My dream job has been going a mile a minute since I got here. Is it my dream job? I told Francine I was looking for hope. I've been so used to life dumping all over me that I've come to expect the worst generally. And yet, I can't say the Funplex has dumped on me. It's been hectic at times, a little too much, but not really in a bad way. I'm starting to get along with my coworkers. I'm helping people with their problems. Maybe I'm finding the hope I was looking for, after all. We've only got a few hours till closing, and it's nice and quiet. How about we game for a bit? Speak for yourself. I still got paperwork to handle. Oh, come on. Don't act like you don't game. Ooh, super bass. Irrelevant. I know your dirty little secret. What? Naomi? You sneak in early each morning to play pinball. You're a pinball wizard. Oh, well, what of it? I bring order to chaos. Pinball is the very expression of that art form. I'm liking Gavin more and more. You know what we should do? Impromptu pinball tourney. The girls are giggling and I'm finding myself smiling right alongside them. All in all, not a bad way to end my first day. Place your bets. Does Gavin end up in Ashley's costume at some point?
By the way, I've booked a birthday party for this afternoon.
Oh no. We can't relax, after all. The looks of confusion and outright terror on their faces, all laughter dying off immediately, are vaguely concerning to me.
Sorry, I meant to tell you, dears, but I plumb forgot.
A birthday party? How old are the kids, may I ask? Oh, God. It's her 5th birthday. Oh, to be young again. 5-year-olds? Naomi starts pulling at her hair, eyes wide and trembling. Throwing ski balls overhand into the glass, jumping up and down on pinball machines, putting chewing gum into coin slots. Pulling at my costume, tearing off pieces of it. Naomi, Ashley, keep it together. We've survived kids' birthday parties before. Doom, the end is nigh.
I'd hate to get in the way of all the fun. Yep, it's time for my afternoon nap anyway.
Francine!
Have fun, dears.
Right, battle stations, everyone. I'll take ticket desks so I can oversee operations. Ashley, greet the kids. Naomi, watch for hardware damage. Letters, roaming duty, look for trouble, do what you can. Prepare yourselves. They are coming. Like an oncoming tidal wave, the rumble is felt before it is seen. Parents pulling into the parking lot, minivans disgorging kindergartners, and suddenly... See, this visual novel is good because it has humor. An explosion of small humans rushes the doors, bursting into the arcade before scattering every which way. Even before any of them can get their tokens, they are grabbing at joysticks, mashing buttons, eager to get their game on or even just pretend to be playing. The crew assumes battle stations, Naomi by the fragile pinball machines, Ashley near the door trying to distract the incoming kids to greet them. Gavin, armed with pre-stacked $10 rolls of tokens, quickly exchanging them with the adults. Beats waiting in line at the change machines. As for the pro gamers, well, Queen Bee and Teo's friends bolt for the exit, abandoning them, keen on getting out of the surge of kiddies, I guess. That's all well and good, but I've got no idea where I'm supposed to be. Roaming duty, Gavin said. Look for trouble, Gavin said. I mean, I was doing that before, but now the chaos has multiplied. For a few minutes, I'm like a pinball being bounced around, or like that frog trying to cross a highway of traffic. Frogger. Eventually, I spot 3 possible problems on the rise, and Letter's professional floor attendant is ready to attend to them. Which one of these should I tackle first, though? I may not be able to deal with all of them in time. Ooh, okay, so now I might be making choices. So 2 kids fighting over a box of cupcakes near Naomi and Ashley, an angry adult shouting at a kid near Teo and Queen Bee, a little girl crying over her stolen tickets near Percy and Gavin. I'm gonna please the adult. The sounds of hardship call to me from Fast Cars 5 racing games. Shouting adults and crying children are never particularly good signs, and I hope beyond hope I can take this one on. I shake the discomfort off. Now's not the time to doubt myself. I need to find out what's going on in Stat. As I get closer to the revving engines, the clacking of shifting gears, I see a grown woman berate a cowering boy.
I didn't.
Admit it. I know what you did, you brat. You manipulated my precious son to put his tokens in your game. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm sorry. Children like you are the absolute worst. Garbage. Ma'am, keep your voice down. There's no need to shout at a child, no less. What's going on here? This jerk of a boy told my sweetest beyond sweet Josh that he should put his tokens into the racing machine so he could play it for free. Josh earned those tokens from his own allowance, and I won't let some devil child steal his money. Let's just take a moment to calm down, okay? Before I say anything else, I spot Queen Bee and Teo out of the corners of my eye. Queen Bee looks infuriated, and Teo's buried his face in the sand. Actually, now that I stop and think about it, they might have some insight. The racing games are right next to Showtime stage. Teo probably had a good vantage point of the whole thing if he was dancing on stage. And just by the way Queen Bee's brows are furrowed, I can tell something's not sitting right with her. I could ask one of them for their help, or I could try to solve this one by myself. I'll ask Teo if he saw something. Teo was right next to the action when it went down. I decided to check in with him. Ma'am, I know you're upset right now, but if you please stop shouting and get this all settled. Teo? I refuse to calm down until this child has been appropriately punished. That such disrespect is tolerated in this arcade is appalling. Well, I'm giving you the worst online reviews. Teo jumps down from the stage and approaches the shouting woman. He puts his hand up. This can all be explained with science. Really? I mean, right, of course. Teo, by all means, elaborate. Teo walks past us and right up to the Fast Cars 5 game. Casually stumps to the driver's sleep and then motions for us to come near. Let me show you both something. Teo puts the car console. It's got a wheel, which is fantastic and totally necessary for a driving game. Pedals, gear shift, and so on. But the feature Teo draws our attention to are the 2 coin slots, which are vertically stacked one on top of another. Okay, so this is where you drop your tokens in to play the game. However, you see how it's practically in the middle of these 2 identical consoles? Which game does the top slot belong to? The right hand or the left hand game? I'm gonna say left. It's obviously the left one, right? Correct? Of course not, fool. It's the right one.
Exactly.
Yay, I was right. What? Preposterous. See, these import games can be confusing. I'm sure your son just put his token in the wrong one. Common mistake, really. Happens all the time. Considering how confused I was, I could see how a small child would be just as, if not more, confused. Honestly, mine was just a lucky guess. Well, I was figuring, generally you read from left to right, and then you read from top to bottom, so top would be left. That was what I figured. I give Teo a grateful look, happy the crisis has been dealt with. The frustrated customer would now undoubtedly apologize for yelling at that boy. How dare you imply my precious Josh was wrong? I can't believe the gall of some people. Josh, get over here. We're leaving this horrible arcade, right now. Oh, well, didn't see that one coming. A woman scoops up her child and storms out the front door. I don't think we'll see her or her son anymore, and frankly, I'm cool with that. Once they're gone, Teo looks back at me from the driver's seat and shrugs.
No can do.
Just no pleasing some people. I feel sorry for her son. It's no way to treat a kid. Teo's sprightly and happy demeanor shifts slightly, eyes glazed over as he looked into the distance. I haven't seen Teo act like this before. He just looks so upset. Wonder if I should check in with him. Hey Teo, you feeling okay? No, it's not my business, but I should make sure Teo's okay. Seems like he can really empathize with the kid's plight. Everything alright? You need anything? After pausing a moment, the fire returns behind his eyes. Yeah, I'll be okay. Just reminded me of how I'd get treated, by teachers notably. I'd space out in class, daydreaming, and they'd rake me over the coals for it just to assert authority. Total overkill. ADHD guy.
Bummer.
It really bums me out to see adults mistreat kids this way, you know? I like to treat people with respect. Even when they're in the wrong, like you saw just now with that woman. I appreciate you taking some time to ask me, you know. Shows you got respect too, and empathy. You're a kind person, Letters. But I'm not that important. You should make sure that boy's safe and sound. Wow, I got double liked.
You later.
I'm headed back to Showtime stage. Holler if you need anything. I give a quick wave to Teo as he returns to his game. Poking around a bit, I managed to find kids still shaking up for the whole ordeal. Hey, sorry about that. You gonna be okay? I think so. I swear I didn't do anything. The other kid just came out of nowhere and dropped his token in my slot. After I lost, I got off the game and offered it to him. He just ran away. And then that woman approached you and started yelling. The boy nods, wiped his snotty nose on his shirt. Uh-huh. Well, if it's any consolation, the bad lady's gone, and I don't think she's ever gonna come back. The boy, cheeks still streaked with tears, lets out a smile spread on his face. Thank you, and tell that nice man thanks for sticking up for me too. I nod, and the boy scurries off and rejoins some of his other friends. Right, that's sorted out. The other two situations are about to spin out of control. I've only got time to deal with one of them. Which one? I'll do the little girl crying over stolen tickets. I weave my way through the waves of children towards the skee-ball machines. One girl sitting at the end of skee-ball ramp crying, no parent in sight to settle her, so the task falls to me. Guessing I should be more cautious about this sort of thing, with lawsuit-happy parents lurking by the vending machines, ignoring their kids, but Floor Attendant Letters decides to take the case all the same. Hey, my name's Letters, and I work here at the arcade. What's wrong? Can I help? Her sobbing pauses, she looks up at me.
I lost my tickets. Someone stole them from me. I played and won a bunch of them, but then I put them down and I was talking to a friend, and now they're gone.
I glance around, but in a sea of kids, it's impossible to tell who the thief could be.
I don't even have any more tokens to play with. I spent them all on skee-ball and my tickets are all gone now.
Easy. We'll figure this out somehow. Although I've got no clue where to start, to be honest. Maybe there's a witness to the crime? Percy would have had a good view of the redemption area based on where Moopy's positioned. Gavin has the ticket desk, a veritable crow's nest for the whole arcade. He could have spotted something. Or I could just bend the rules and solve this directly. Gavin had to see where the tickets went, or at least you know what to do via arcade policy. Yes. Not gonna mess around with this one. Theft is serious business. Wait here, okay? I'll go get help. I'll get the bottom of this, I promise. Okay. I duck through the crowd, weaving my way back to the ticket desk. Hey Gavin, that girl over there? Boy with red hair currently playing Frogger. He took the tickets when she wasn't looking. Holy crud. Wait, you saw? Of course, what of it? You knew and didn't do anything to help? Yes, and you didn't do anything about it. First, I'm tied down to this desk. It's all hands on deck Letters, nobody out of position, not even for a minute. Second, confronting the boy won't do any good. He'll clam up and refuse to ever admit wrongdoing. And the parents can be twice as immature, I found. Right now, I just want to keep the peace. One girl crying is less of a disturbance than a boy throwing a tantrum. The way he stands there so stoic and uncaring while that girl in pink just sobs. It's not right. I mean, seriously, not right. But he's my boss. How hard do I want to push this? What makes her sadness less important than that boy's potential tantrum? Come on, Gavin. To let one crass customer feel like crap just to avoid having another customer maybe feel like crap? A thief, I may add? There's keeping the peace and there's allowing suffering just because it's the path of least resistance. We're losing a customer today regardless. I'd rather not break the little girl's heart to do it and let the bully learn he can do what he wants. At first, it looks like he's gonna chew me out for standing up to him. But... You think me a monster?
I hadn't intended.
Of course I feel bad about this. I feel bad for her, and he shouldn't get away with it. I'm just trying to protect the arcade as a whole. Then do it. Protect the arcade by protecting gamers and their dreams. He sighs like a stress release valve yawning open and closed.
Indeed.
He liked me twice! Of course. Good to know that he's the kind of boss that can accept feedback. Focusing on the big picture does tend to leave me apathetic to each individual brushstroke. My apologies, Letters. I'm lucky I had you to put me back on track. Your predecessor wouldn't have stood up to me like this, and shown me how wrong I was. Now let's sort this out properly. Gavin walks right up to the kid who's busy hopping a frog around in traffic. Wouldn't mind seeing this kid blow flame. Jeez! Ahem, boy. What do you want? Can't help but notice that roll of tickets in your pocket. Big winner, are you? The biggest. Got 'em all playing that spinny color game over there, see? Really, it's funny. See, I own that game. May I see your roll, please? I don't want to show you. Well, I can see that end poking out of your ticket there, and the serial number on the ticket starts with a 1. Which is interesting, because the roll I loaded into the color spinner, it starts with a 2.
think not.
Meaning those tickets were when playing skee ball, specifically by that girl over there, and you took them. You're a liar! Leave me alone! I'll yell for my mom!
Seriously?
Really want to risk having your mom believe me instead of you? Instead, how about you give me the tickets and walk away? At first, the kid looks like he's gonna shriek bloody murder, but a few nervous glances at his mother, busy munching chips at the vending machine, change his mind. Take him! I don't want him anyway! He angrily stomps away, presumably to go play some other game, on the other side of the arcade.
Yay!
You did it! You found my tickets! The girl actually hugs me. Well, hugs my leg anyway.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks and thanks. Now, let's get your prize. What did you wanted? Crayons! Oh, she's a happy girl now. Those we have. Letters, I'll take it from here. Ooh, that fuzzy happy feeling right there. But no time to rest on my laurels. I've got other arcade dreams to defend. 2 problems in the can. Now to deal with that cupcake problem, uh-oh. Too late. The vintage Midway cabinet Naomi just finished fixing up, it's covered in icing. Looks like Ashley's costume's gonna need dry cleaning too. I shoot them a helpless Logan shrug. Hey, Letters. Kinda wish it was pink icing, then nobody would notice. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, I wasn't quick enough. You still helped out, I saw you with those other kids, you're a natural. I think things are winding down anyway, why not take a break? And I'll swap off with you and take a break myself afterwards. Yeah, okay, sounds good. Honestly, I'm kinda worn out. Ashley's right. I need to step away from this craziness, if only for a few minutes. After a silent nod from Gavin to confirm it's cool with him, I slip away, headed for the employee lounge. Dude, this is still day 1. It's been a packed day. What a day. Quirky coworkers, Quirky coworkers, diehard pro gamers, volatile kids getting into volatile situations. I'd say it's a recipe for wackiness or some cliche, but nothing's an easily dismissed cliche when it's happening to you directly. Frankly, I'm exhausted. I drop into one of those cheap folding metal chairs in the employee break room, groaning and rolling my head back to try and work the kinks out of my sore shoulders. And spot an upside-down kid. Huh. Oh wait, I'm the one leaning backwards. I sit up and turn around instead. Better. Wait, what's a kid doing back here? Hey, I think he was hoping I wouldn't notice him. Hi. Hi, and you are? Mikey? Okay, that's a start. Hi, Mikey. My name's Letters, so what are you doing back here? This is an employees-only area. Wait, there's a keypad. How'd you get in? The guy at the desk dropped this. He holds out a piece of paper with the door code written on it. Huh, score 1 for Ashley's wild storytelling being more fact than fiction. Okay. Sorry. Okay, but you can't stay back here. Well, I don't see any knives or stabbing implements left out in the open, so I guess it's technically safe, but...
Please don't send me back out there.
Oh, this is curious. I lean in so we can be on the same eye level. Something wrong? You can tell me. I work here. I'm the gal who solves problems.
No problems, just don't want to go out there.
Don't you want to play with your friends? And he gives me the most cynical, bitter laugh I've ever heard out of a kindergartner.
I don't got any friends. I don't know anybody here. My family just moved to the city. And before that, we lived in another city. And one more for that, but I was too little to remember. Mom told me to come to the party anyway, and I didn't want to, but she took me anyway. And then she left because she's got to work.
New kid in town, huh? He nods mutely. Still, I should have busted him then and there, brought him back out to the party where other parents could supervise him. Should have told Gavin. Should have enforced the rules of the arcade. Okay, kid, I won't tell on you. If you want to stay back here for the rest of the party, I'll keep you company. Thanks. You really won't tell my mom? Nope. Why? I thought you'd want to make me go. You're an adult like Mom. I wasn't always an adult. I was a kid once. A new kid in town, in fact. You were the new kid? Yeah, although, for me, that started happening back when I was 10. Again and again, moving from town to town, school, never really making any friends, not for years. Mom and Dad kept losing jobs and taking new ones, worse ones. They'd be working all day long, too tired when they came home to do much of anything. After years and years of this, I stopped hoping things would get better. Just decided to take what I could get. I'd go with the flow. What does that mean? It means you don't care. Some things are good, some things are bad. But you don't care. You just do what you have to do without really being sad over it. Stop unloading your emotional baggage on a child.
That sounds so sad. You weren't sad?
I understand this is expositional, but it's still bugging me.
It's sad to never care about anything, right?
I guess I was sad. I just told myself I wasn't going to be sad, even though I really was. And then I bite my tongue hard. Because my little involuntary trip down memory lane was not helping this kid out. Wouldn't have helped Little Letters out if adult did this for me. So instead I decided to be the adult Little Letters would have needed. It won't always be this bad. Life has ups and downs. Mikey, look, both of us had some sad times, but it's not always going to be like that. Now I work here at an arcade. I help people play fun games all day. How cool is that? And I did make a friend eventually, a nice girl named Juniper. She helps me when I'm feeling bad, and I help her. I won't lie to you, you still feel sad sometimes. Life can be really difficult. But it won't always be difficult. If you keep your head up, you can ride through the good parts and the bad parts. Is there anything in your life that's always good, no matter what? Mikey thinks it over a little. I like cartoons. And I can watch those no matter where we live. See? No matter how sad you get, you always have your cartoons. Any city you live in will have them. See? There are good things along with the bad. Does anybody else at your school like the same cartoons that you do? I don't know. If you want to find out, there's a super easy way. Just ask them. Really? Really, you'd be surprised. Okay, Miss Letters? Yeah? Do you like Ultra Warrior Unicorn Rainbow Champions, too? I love Ultra Warrior Unicorn. Don't tell your mom I used that word. The kid grins, amused that he caught me swearing. And then we're both laughing, because I'm just an ordinary person now, not some authority figure. I make mistakes, both of us have highs and lows. Hey, I bet some kids out there love Ultra Warrior Unicorn Rainbow Champions. I mean, who doesn't? How about we go back out there and you can ask the other kids what cartoons they like? You'll never know until you ask. I don't know. Not saying they'll all be your friends. Some won't, but some will. The good and the bad, Mikey. You get both if you look, and it's worth looking for the good. Okay, I'll go talk to them. That's the spirit. Take his hand and lead him back out to the main room. Boy, I didn't really get to have my break, did I? And off he goes. I'm not fooling myself. I know I haven't fixed Mikey's problems. I'm no child psychologist. That was entirely me flying by the seat of my pants. But for a moment there, I was able to help someone in the same crappy situation I found myself in long ago. 15 years ago. Everything changed. No more family vacations, no more arcade visits, we couldn't afford them, and they couldn't take time off work. The whole Yay family had to learn to settle, to accept that lot in life we've been dealt, to go with the flow, never hoping, never wanting. Juniper did her best to pull me out of that mire. I'd only known her for a few years, one of the few stable times in my life, but she knew the edge I'd been pushed to. Now, here I am. Today's been, well, bonkers. Alternately boring and hectic, surreal, and way too real. But I can honestly say I'm more alive than I have been in a very, very long time. Beep beep. Beep beep letters. My emotionally voice analyst subroutines combined with your body language suggest you're very happy right now. Yeah, I guess I am. How'd you know? I just told you, silly. I mean, how'd you know I love this job so much?
I know.
I didn't. What? I lied. I was 47% sure. What are the elements that seem to click with your optimal social requirements? A fun atmosphere, spirited coworkers, helping people out, and so on. Also, I cross-referenced your roommate's postings talking about how much you enjoyed arcade visits when you were a kid. Still, 47%.
97%.
But I was 99.97% sure that if I said I was that sure, you'd be willing to give it a try. Another thing to thank Juniper for, I guess. You're a very weird little app, you know?
Hooray!
I try to be. When the car's pulling up the parking lot, it looks like the party's over. It's just about closing time for the arcade anyway. Most of the gamers have filed out by now, if they haven't already fled the tidal wave of kiddies. My first impulse is to go bug Gavin about my paperwork, but that can wait. I'd rather go help someone with the tidying up, or maybe see how our VIP gamers are doing. I think I'm gonna go ahead and save. And we're gonna call it a day there. I was hoping to get through the whole day, but I am getting hungry for lunch. So, we are going to see if there is somebody who we can raid right now. But yeah, overall, I would say this is a good game. You know, if you like visual novels, definitely get. I'd say it's worth getting on sale. It is $20, but yeah, it's definitely a lot more fun. Let's see here. Who all is on right now? I think we'll go ahead and rate Fat Rabbit. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and please be sure to stay safe. Have a good one.